Welcome to the Real Estate 401k Show. Here are your hosts, Ryan Gerdes, Mike Weinstein, and Justin Frederick, helping you build a legacy of wealth through real estate. Powered by the Recon Group at West USA and the Frederick team with Fairway Mortgage. NMLS number 625918.
All right, this is the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside my co-host, Ryan Gerdes. And you're going to want to text the word HOT to 623. What is it these days? We were on break. AZ Recon, right?
623 AZ Recon, yeah.
We're going to have to change that, but we'll get into that later. You'll want to text the word HOT to 623 AZ Recon because, Ryan, December, temperature-wise, it was pretty dang warm here in the Valley of the Surface of the Sun. But we had been telling everybody that the holidays is always the best time to buy. There is, and for a variety of reasons, which we went through in nauseam last month. But dude, we were slammed in December.
Yeah, I don't even know where the hell that month went. I
got 1 day off. I got Christmas off.
I worked on Christmas.
Well, you're a better person than me.
Well.
I thought I was going to get New Year's Day off, but that didn't quite work out. I mean, we are doing deals all month long for savvy investors and savvy home buyers.
And I don't mind it. I mean, realistically, the time that we do most of our resting is when everybody else is doing panic buying. So when people were out there spending $150,000 over appraised value, doing crazy stuff, we're sitting back telling our investors, pump the brakes on that. We'll get them when a right opportunity pops up. And although we still did a ton of business during that time, I mean, so many people were out there writing 50, 60 offers just to land one deal.
Right.
And I'm like, let's work a little bit smarter than that. Let's go find either off-market stuff or let's just wait until these people are done overpaying and so that we can find a good opportunity. So right now is when we deal with a lot of very savvy investors and people that see this as the long game and they're not just out there doing stuff because they're either FOMO or whatever. And so this has been, people have taken our message to heart, and I really appreciate that because it's been fun going out there and being able to actually get in and say, hey, look, we were able to walk you into position of equity, or we were able to get you certain terms that were going to really lend itself well to your portfolio, whether it be 1031s or whether it be just some people wanting to move funds at a different date in order to position themselves tax-wise. So there's all kinds of different fund strategies that we've been able to implement. Whereas, back in 2021, there was no strategy. It was just let's go in there and just throw everything, including the kitchen sink, at it, and then still get denied. And I mean, the good news was there was still a lot of months where even though you'd pay $50,000 above appraised value, then by the time you closed, you had already made $20,000-$30,000 because of what happened right next door. So, but those are unprecedented times. Those types of markets, while they're fun, they're high moving, they're high prices. They just, I don't know. For me, they're not as predictable.
If you want to jump in the action, text the word HOT to 623 AZ Recon. That's HOT to 623 AZ Recon. We'd love to have a conversation with you and to give you the opportunity to see what investors are currently doing right now and what savvy homeowners are doing. And Ryan, as real estate wealth managers, our message is always keep your eye on the prize. The prize is money. The prize is building wealth in real estate. And for me, what I saw in December, and frankly, what I saw most of 2023, because we always start with the question if you're going to text us and we're on the phone with you, we're going to ask you this question: do you like money? Because it always starts with, do you like money? Because that's really what the impetus is. That's what it really comes down to. And we saw so many people in 2023 say, you know what? I am not going to jump in the game. I don't want to get anything right now because the interest rates are so high. And we've been preaching and preaching and preaching that the interest rate is just one of the variables, one of the numbers. Because what we do is we take a look at a property, we build that strategy, regardless of what the interest rate is. Can you build wealth? Can you take this property and add it to your real estate portfolio?
And I know that we're using it synonymously, but I think we ought to change the way that we word that question. It's not where do you like money? But,
Well, you came up with that
well,
one.
I know.
So,
No. I'm saying this is a collaborative effort here, and I'm going to tell you why it's jumping in my brain. Instead of saying do you like money, do you like wealth? So my daughter comes to me, and I don't know if this is off a TikTok or whatever, but she says, money screams, wealth whispers, right? And so
ooh.
I was like, that's sexy.
If you
right?
say it 3 times, we can take ownership of that.
Right, yeah. and it got me thinking, like, while we're out here delivering the message and talking about what we do and really connecting with the people that are wanting to create generational wealth, we've always just kind of organically said, hey, look, we don't care about, we're not the hero of this deal. We're just here as educators, as consultants, and we're wanting to create a
strategists.
And strategists and negotiators. I mean, like, we're doing a lot of different things. What we're not doing is we're not trying to sell you a dream home. That's not us. We're trying to help you build generational wealth. And somewhere down the line, sometimes that dream home does become part of the portfolio, but that's 1 out of 10, 50, 100 different transactions that we're trying to work with our clients on in order to really build that generational wealth. So that being said, we're not the heroes in this situation. You are. And so we're trying to whisper this. We're trying to say, hey, look, if you're going around and you just want to buy homes just to flash them and be big and whatnot, then okay, that's probably not us, because you're probably overspending and you're probably not making wise financial decisions.
And probably and more likely bringing a lot of emotion to this transaction.
Thank you. And that's just not our bag. And
when we want emotion, we just go home to our wives, right? Fortunately, they don't listen to this show, so.
Yeah, so you don't even need to edit that out. What we want to do is we want to create a comprehensive plan, and like you were saying, with this new year, we every single year we usually see a lull right there in the end of December, early January. It's most of the reasons are for tax purposes, and then on vacation. But at the end of the day, it really is the best time, and we only have a week or 2 more before we really see the floodgates open. And brother, I've already seen it.
Oh man, it's wide awake. What I want to also, before we continue, because it's important for our listeners to understand that, and I think it's a trap for some people when they listen to our podcast, they hear the word investing, and investors, and so forth. And for a lot of people who are first-time home buyers, a lot of people who've been renting and haven't bought that first home, I don't want them to just tune us out, because if you're buying your first home, you're buying your 100th home, we're going to help you see real estate through the prism of investing and through the prism of building wealth. And right now, I'm so excited. We got this young lady. She's going to be a first-time home buyer, and we're starting the process with her. She's already reached out to Justin's team, and we started building the strategy. But she understood that this was step 1. This is going to be property 1, and understanding that she's not going to bring a lot of emotion. It's all about the numbers. But I want to make it very, very clear. If you're willing and you want to build wealth in real estate, it doesn't matter how many properties you have. It doesn't matter if you're buying your first property.
Yeah, and if you're not scared, we're the people that you need to be speaking with. Or if you are scared and you're tired of being scared, because all you hear is naysayers and negative energy, living rent-free in your head, and you're sick of it, then let's have a conversation about how to intelligently approach this, because we all have different risk adversities, right?
Yeah.
Like there's some people who are just going to, fire aim ready, they're ready to do anything, and then you have some that are just extremely conservative, and we work with all of them. The moral of the story is you've got to be open to what the actual numbers are and be open to factual education.
All right, if you'd like to start that process, in the process of building a strategy to build generational wealth, All you got to do is text the word HOT to 623-AZ-RECON. That's HOT to 623-AZ-RECON.
I like that. Hot.
HOT.
And everyone knows how to spell it. You can do it while you're driving.
Doesn't matter how you spell it. Last point, and I want to get your thoughts on timetable. I also don't want people to think, okay, they've now completely missed out. But I think we have a short window. We are starting to see rates inch down and trickle down, and we're expecting to see the second half of 2024. We're expecting to see rates significantly drop. Not going to be shocked if we wake up one day and they're in the mid fives. That's what a lot of people are predicting for 2024. So for those that are listening to this podcast, I think your window is April at the latest. You have between now and April, because I think come summer, I think the market's going to explode again. And yes, in May, you will get a much better interest rate, but is it worth paying $20,000 or $30,000 or $40,000 more for a home than what you could get it for today?
I really think we're going to see rubber band numbers. And what I mean by that is usually we're seeing like a cyclical market that just kind of goes like a roller coaster. I really think that as we've slowly pulled down in volume and value, it's just going to go, it's going to be a straight line straight up in the air as far as volume and value. And if you are an investor and you have a handful of properties that are on your portfolio that you've been kicking around liquidating in order to diversify or go into a different direction or maybe get wider, you're probably going to see a good time to sell this coming up summer. And be able to realize a lot of capital on it, as well as picking up other things that I feel like other investors are missing.
Well, one of the things that I experienced over the holidays is I got whiter. And now we're working on bringing that down. You and I, the next 60 days, buddy.
Yeah, dude, it's on.
All right, we'd love to have that strategy session with you. We'd love to help you, put you on the path to building wealth in real estate. All you got to do is text the word HOT to 623-AZ-RECON. That's HOT to 623-AZ-RECON.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate 401k Show. If you want more information on how to build wealth, click on the link or text us at 623-297-3266. That's 623-AZ-RECON.